Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Canadian Edition here, and patch 1.83 has just dropped. I'm pretty excited today. With it comes Fleet. Open beta testing for Fleet for Germany, Russia, and the United States. Closed beta testing for the Brits for Fleet. Germany now has helicopters. The T-80B now has explosive reactive armor. Whole bunch of new premium vehicles. Whole bunch of changes coming up. It is awesome. I'm super excited. Some random background footage for you, so please don't laugh when I ram into this destroyer. I was just messing around, checking out the new stuff. But update 1.83 Masters of the Sea is here. It is an awesome update. We are getting a whole bunch of new boats. The HMS Armada, the HMAS Nepal, the HMS Grafton, just to name a few. Germany is getting helicopters, the UH-1D, the SA-313B, the VO-105. There's some new premium vehicles available. The Ju-288C is a German bomber. The Type 75 MLRS is a Japanese tank with a whole bunch of rockets. And honestly, it's going to be an awesome patch. Players with premium accounts get an extra 24 hours added to their accounts. In the background footage here, we're just checking out some of the stuff. Honestly, this is a huge patch. Fleet is here. Later up in this video, I have a Fleet gameplay coming for you guys, so stay tuned for that. But what exactly are we to expect from this patch? Well, helicopters are now in open beta testing for everyone. Everyone can play helicopters now. Germany now has helicopters. As you can see in the video here, we're having a look. They get the Alouette, the UH-1D, the Mi-24P, and the BO-105 variants. Which is strange, because really only two of those helicopters are actually German. The rest are just Russian, US, and French. But whatever. You get access to these vehicles once you get a rank 5 tank or aircraft. And honestly, I'm super excited to play them. I love this game. I love ground forces. I love naval forces. I love aircraft. This game is huge now. You can do anything. You can do helicopters. You can do fleet. I gotta calm down, really. I'm gonna have a heart attack. But I mean, this is exciting, right? This is really exciting. And I was having a look at some of the fleet. Here's the new Ju-288C, 4,880 Golden Eagles, battle rating 5.3. It's a German bomber. It's just added. I'll take a preview of this puppy here just to show you what it's like. I apologize for the sort of crazy, excitable video, but the patch just came out. I wanted to get the video out, and I can't hide my emotions sometimes. So normally I like to stay calm. Excuse me. Normally I like to stay calm and give you guys the what's up, but today I'm pretty excited. I can't hide it. So this plane looks pretty sweet, I gotta say. It's supposedly got 360-degree coverage, which means the placement of the twin 13mm turrets and the 20mm turret on the back gives you full protection from fighters no matter what angles they approach you at, which should be pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited for that. You can see we've got ship realistic battle selected at the top there. That's now a thing. You can see we got a little LS3 German thing there. And we're just checking out the Japanese tech tree here. This is the Type 75. Sort of like a Hailfire rocket storm launcher mobile. I'm pretty sure we're going to take this for a test drive. Yes, we are. Show you guys what it's all about, which should be pretty interesting. It's pretty pricey. 7,000 or 8,000 Golden Eagles. I didn't get a chance to see there. Very pricey tank. Once you fire your 30 rockets, you're out. You have to go to a capture point or something like that to reload. Unfortunately, so you only get 30 shots. You don't have the ability to actually reload. And you don't really get to aim. There's no real proper aiming system. You just kind of have to wing it and hope a rocket hits your target. But it is pretty destructive. I mean, in a test drive area, it's kind of fun. If I had spent money on this and bring it into a real battle and get my ass kicked over and over again, it might not be so fun. So I don't know if I can recommend this thing. I mean, if you are okay for shits and giggles and you don't mind losing a whole bunch of Golden Eagles if it doesn't work out for you, then yeah, why not? But, you know, I don't know if I can recommend this thing. See, we're just launching all of our rockets. You get 30 of them, and you can just repeatedly launch them. But your ammo storage is empty after you fire 30 rockets, so it's the end of that. But yeah, it's kind of a cool... honestly, I don't know why they added this tank. Like, maybe if it was something to research in the tech tree, but I don't think people are going to spend money on this tank. It's kind of, like, too expensive for the shits and giggles you get for it, in my opinion. You can see it's got a 50 cal on it as well. We're just messing around with it. But yeah, this patch is super, super exciting. Very, very excited for this patch. The T-80B is getting explosive reactive armor, so it's going to become even more deadly. If you don't know what explosive reactive armor is, basically it reacts when it's impacted. So if it's hit with a shell, it's actually like two metal plates with high explosive in between. That's the explosive reactive armor. So what it does is it launches the two plates in either direction, and it creates sort of this effect that will break off, you know, those armor piercing rounds or those pin shot discarding sable rounds, and it will mess up the heat. It's basically like, it's very hard to explain, but when it feels the impact, it detonates the armor and separates two metal plates, which actually disrupts the charge from intercepting with a tank. So that's interesting. But yeah, we're just looking at the German reserve boat here, which is a giant piece of garbage. So the way the fleet works is you start out with these tiny little fishing boats with guns on them, and you work your way up to cruisers. We actually get cruisers. So yes, we get destroyers, we get cruisers. There's some interesting vehicles as well, like barges. Like Germany has barges. It's really strange, but I'm very excited to play with them. I think we're gonna have a look at them here. Just making sure nothing's changed. Yeah, so you go to the fleet, and you can see the different types of vehicles here. So we've got a minesweeper in the rank 1. Another minesweeper there. And another minesweeper. And then you get these motor torpedo boats, but then you get these ferries. Germany gets these ferries, anti-air ferries. And they're very interesting. They're very, very interesting. I mean, they're super slow, 16 kilometers an hour. But they have incredible firepower. This one's got 4 88mm flak guns on it. So, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I'm just going to take a preview of one of the ferries here. I mean, look at this thing. Only the Germans would do something like this, right? Yeah, we just put 5 guns on ferry. Yeah. That's my best German accent. Anyway, the SF-40 Licht. It looks very interesting. I'm very, very interested in these boats. And then you make your way up to the destroyers here, rank 3. You can see these are a little more serious. And rank 4, there's 1 cruiser for every nation. There's also tons of premium vehicles. It's a shame. I had a bunch of Golden Eagles saved up, but I just spent them on a bunch of vehicles. But then they released all of these. I wish I had saved my Golden Eagles. But oh well. How could I have known, right? But that's the one you start with. This is the reserve boat. 2 torpedoes and 1 little 15mm dinky little cannon on the front. Very strange. But it's exciting. I mean, there's all these different kinds of boats we can play, from like fishing boats all the way up to cruisers. There's helicopters that will be added to fleet. Not yet, because I think helicopters are too high of a battle rating. But eventually there will be helicopters and planes and boats, just like ground forces, which is super exciting. Overall, I think this is one of the best patches that they've released since I've started playing. Tons of new stuff. So we're going to take a look at the full list of changes and bugs. So basically, there's, for Great Britain, available to Royal Navy closed beta testing participants. They get a whole bunch of torpedo boats, gunboats, light cruisers, trawlers and corvettes, and destroyers. So it's just gives you an idea of how many things you can get. But USA Naval Open Beta Testing, available to all players. You go from the Higgins 81-foot boat all the way up to the Elko, or the Cowl, or the USS Trenton. I think that's the biggest one they got, the USS Trenton. But T-32E1 is a new USA ground vehicle, apparently. Su-57B and T-80B, new researchable modification. We already know about Japan, what they've added. So for aircraft, the F4F3 and F4F4 have been updated, the models. And there's that new JU288C Premium we took a look at. And then the France has an MB175T. So there's a new naval location, Black Sea Port. They increased the detailization of the naval location, Green Mountains Gulf. Full rework of roads and bridges in the following aircraft battles locations. There's a whole bunch here. So bridges correctly coincide with the roadway. So there's a whole bunch of fixes that they've done. Helicopter missions have now been refined in accordance with player feedback. More light vehicles have been added. Helicopter respawn points have been placed further away from AI target clusters. The players will have to choose if they want to protect its own ground vehicles or go hunt enemy ones. By analogy with the aircraft frontline missions, destruction of any ground vehicle counts for the victory of the team. So lots of changes for helicopters, which is exciting because I found that game mode rather lackluster when I went in there with my Hind. But I'm going to give it another shot, that's for sure. So there's a ton of location and mission updates. There's a ton of ground vehicle model, damage model characteristic, and weaponry changes. Way too many here to even go into. There's a ton of aircraft model, damage model characteristic, and weaponry changes. Flight model changes, naval fleet model, damage model characteristic, and weaponry changes. CDK, economy and research. Appearance, interface, game mechanics, changes specific to the PlayStation platform. There's a new setting for cursor speed. Anyway, if you want to check out the changes, be sure to visit www.warthunder.com. Have a look at their news section, and check out the patch 1.83 change log, because I'm going to bore the shit out of you going through everything in this video. Coming up, not too long from now, we have some action in our first ever naval battle. So, our first ever naval battle is going to be in this LS3 German reserve fishing boat. I call it a fishing boat anyway. It's got 2 torpedoes and a 15mm MG151 cannon. So we're playing domination on Fiji, and in brackets it says boats, because we're all driving little dinky boats, which are kind of fun, I gotta say. I thought they would be boring, but they're actually fun. Anyone who talks shit about boats, play them before you talk shit about them, because they're fun. So here you get 3 respawns out of 3. So you get 3 lives, and at least in your reserve boat, you get 3 lives. There's several spawn points. You can choose where you want to go. You kind of spawn on the move here. You can see we got some rough waters. All these random ass bell noises you're hearing is like when you change direction or change speed or something like that. I gotta say, using the PlayStation joystick to maneuver is quite tiresome after a while, because you're constantly pressing forward on the joystick, and it's just really irritating. I like to set up cruise control on my tanks, and I wasn't able to set up cruise control on this boat, so it was really annoying. So I hope they add cruise control feature. War Thunder, if you're listening, Gaijin, if you're listening, please add cruise control feature for boats, especially for us PlayStation users. I know I can change my controls, but I really don't want to have to do that. But I will. I will. Don't get me wrong. I will for the meantime. Anyway, here we go. 71 kilometers an hour in this beast of a patrol boat. You can see we got smoke screen at the bottom there. The little like porthole thing is like the repair feature, and you can see we actually have 600 rounds for our cannon. And then we got our 2 torpedoes. So we're heading towards C. One thing you want to be careful of in this game is I have actually beached myself. So you can beach yourself, and it's really annoying, and your boat will just explode after 3 minutes of sitting on the beach. So don't beach yourself. There's several warning messages that will come up. Oh, we got a first enemy target. You can see how pathetic this MG is. But we're landing some hits. Knocked out one of his crew members there. And how you destroy enemy boats is you either disable their boat or knock out their crew members, just like tanks. But we got several enemy boats flying into our view here, so we're trying to light them up with our little pathetic MG, but it can only do so much. We actually fired our torpedoes in haste there, which was a mistake. You can see we're engaging enemy boats here, and you can see the damage indicator in the top right corner. It's actually quite hard to knock out enemy targets, because I felt like I was lighting this guy up and he was just cruising. Anyway, he's starting to shoot at us now, so it's like 1v1 here. And you can see our guns jammed. So we are pretty much screwed. We can't fight back now. We did get 1 kill there, if you didn't notice. But we have no torpedoes, no guns, and we are under heavy fire. We're trying to repair our breaches, throw up smoke, change directions. We just dodged some torpedoes there, as you can see. 2 just went flying by us. But we're trying to get the hell out of here, basically. There's an enemy boat. We don't have any guns, unfortunately. We're out of ammo. We try to ram them. We miss. Enemy kill assist there. And you can see we're doing a full retreat now. So my first impression of the battle was it was pretty awesome until my boat ran out of torpedoes and ammo. And then I felt helpless. So that's why I'm retreating right now. Unfortunately, I jammed my gun with 194 rounds left, so it's unusable. And yeah. But it was kind of cool. Like, I like the feel of the naval battles. It was like a high-pressure environment. It takes time to knock out enemy ships. And it was cool to watch everyone driving around and shooting at each other. And torpedoes are interesting as well. I love naval battles. I gotta say, I really enjoyed my first naval battle. And I've never really played, I can honestly say I've never played a boat game before or a ship game. Like, I've never played World of Warships or anything like that. But I really am enjoying this a lot. There's one of the warning messages about the depth. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this naval testing. I'm going to be playing a lot of naval craft. I like the look of the British. Unfortunately, I'm not able to play them at the moment until they come into open beta testing. So I'm probably going to play the Germans just because I like the German boats. This reserve boat is junk, but what do you expect from a reserve boat, right? I'm hoping those barges will be really sweet with the big guns. But we're heading towards A with no ammo and no torpedoes, so we're probably going to die. But that's okay. Kind of out of options at this point. Also, with boats, you have to research, repair, and fire prevention equipment. So I'm not able to repair my boat or put out any fires at this point either, which is annoying. You can see we're taking hits now. And we're just basically accepting the point, the fact that we're going to die. And we actually get rammed by our own boat here, our own teammate, and finished off by an enemy boat. But yeah, watch where you're going, buddy. So you can see we get 2 more respawns. And here's where I was seeing if there was any cruise control or not. I was just checking out the controls. There's mortars, mines, rockets, depth charges, launch torpedoes, and a whole... Like, boats are awesome because... You see we're getting warning messages because we're about to hit a rock, so we just miss it. Boats are awesome because, like, and at some point during the war, they tried to stick anything on everything, and it was just, like... It's really cool to me. I really like the boats. See an enemy aircraft there. Just taking some shots. So we realize how ineffective our cannon is, so we just forget about it. So you can see we're getting a whole bunch of depth warning here, but we're kind of ignoring it. Well, that was a bad idea. Because now we're beached. So this is what happens when you get beached. You basically have to call for help. None of your engines will work, and your teammates have to tow you out, or you'll just sit here like a donkey for 3 minutes. Which is what we end up doing. The only reason I shot my teammate here was because I don't think there is friendly fire. And I was just trying to get his attention, like, hey, help, please, help me. But I just put a little burst into him anyway, so if there is friendly fire, then I'm sure his boat will be fine. You can see we suffered massive hull damage, lost some of our crew, just from beaching the boat. So, beaching, not a good idea. And these 2 teammates are actually just going to drive right by me and not help me. So, yeah. One of them even shoots me to let me know he knows I'm here and then just drives right by. But that's the way it goes. Thanks for the help. That's the little Russian reserve boat. It kind of looks cool, I gotta say. Can't fire torpedoes on the beach either, if you're wondering. You just sit here and float. You're going to take some shots at enemy planes now. But it's pretty hard to shoot down biplanes with this little cannon, to be fair. And there we go. Ship ran aground. And we're dead. After a while, it just kills you. Which is embarrassing. I mean, I drove my own ship onto the ground. It's pretty embarrassing from a captain's point of view. But we're back. We've got our 3rd respawn here. So we're back. And, yeah, my first impression of naval battles, they look good, they feel good, they're fun. I'm excited to unlock all the different types of boats. The different nations have all sorts of different types of boats. Like the Germans have these like massive gun barges, and the Russians have these armored sub chasers. You know, it's really awesome. I gotta say, Gaijin, you've done a great job with this. I'm very impressed. 10 out of 10 for this patch. So we're coming up. We can see our teammates getting dinged here, so we're going to take some shots and try to help him. We knock out the crew compartment, take out 2 of his crew members. It's only got 5 left. We're trying to get some shots in on him, but it's hard with the little dinky cannon that we get. Not too pleased with the German reserve boat, to be honest. Enemy kill assist. And we watch our teammate die in front of our own eyes. So what we were trying to do here was set up a trap. We were hoping the enemies would come to us, and we were trying to kind of park our boat and just gun the shit out of them when they drove by. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that, so we end up just kind of sitting here for a little while. But you can see what we were meaning to do, hopefully. Our team's getting spanked. You can see in the top we are losing all of our points and really losing the battle quite heavily here. We decide to move in as the game is ending anyway. And this is something PlayStation users are going to be annoyed with, is on a PC when you're using keys on a keyboard, I'm sure you won't be hearing the bell this many times. But when you're using a directional control stick and you're inputting several inputs at once, the bell does get kind of annoying. That's it, folks.